Hi and welcome back. If you are new to the channel, my name is Vince. Thanks for stopping by. You're very welcome here indeed. So, 3 months has just flown by. I've just had my results for my last blood test, which I took in February 2021. And I will compare those against previous blood tests, in particular the one I had taken in November 2020. So that's enough waffling off me. Let's jump straight into my last blood test results. So let's take a quick look at the supplements I've been taking over the last 3 months. 1.5 grams of NMN a day, resveratrol 1.5 grams, TMG, trimethylglycine 2 grams a day, berberine 1.5 grams, and that's split between 500 milligrams with my lunch and 1 gram with my evening meal because that's the larger meal. Vitamin D3, 5,000 international units a day. Vitamin K2, 120 micrograms, and that's the MK7 variant. Magnesium, 250 milligrams, and that's the L3 and 8 variant 2. Hyaluronic acid, 200 milligrams of high molecular weight hyaluronic acid. And if you are taking HA, hyaluronic acid, then it's the high molecular weight variant that you need to be looking for. And for the last 3 months, I've been taking 1 teaspoon of dried parsley. Remember, that's down from 1 tablespoon from the previous 3 months. So all I'm going to do in this is highlight only the markers that are outside the reference range. Feel free to pause the video and read all of the markers in detail if you want. If you see something that I've missed or you think I've made a mistake in what I'm saying, again, please let me know in the comments below. So, enough waffling from me, let's get into the blood test results. So let's move straight on to the lipid profile, and this is the one that's caused me a little bit of concern. My total cholesterol is high, as it always is, because I'm on a low carb, high fat diet, and I will preempt the vegans in the comment section who tell me if I go vegan, I'll be able to bring that number down. I know that, but I'm not going to go vegan just to bring one marker down, when the majority usually are all okay. My HDL has dropped from 66 to 50, although it is still within the range. LDL, that is high. It's always going to be high because I'm on a high fat, low carb diet. That said, it's come down from 203 to 169. So this is the one that's caused me the most concern. My triglycerides have jumped from 119 to 421, and that's quite a shocking jump. My VLDL cholesterol, again, which should be low, has gone from 23 to 84, and that's double what it should be. So again, that has caused me a certain amount of concern. The TC-HDL cholesterol ratio is up, but that's obviously because my triglycerides are also up. So I wasn't sure what the reason was for this massive jump in these 3 markers in particular. So initially I thought maybe it was an error on the part of the lab, or maybe something I had done close to the test. So I guess pretty quickly it was in the lab. It's not the kind of mistake that labs make. And if there was this big, if there was this big jump, maybe they would have tested again, or they're happy with the result. So with the lab, what they do is they send you your appointment date and time, and they also then give you instructions you've got to follow. The only instruction that you really need to follow that's relevant to this is don't eat or drink 10 to 12 hours before the test, but that's all it is. So what I did was I searched the internet to see if there was anything else that may cause a high triglyceride number before a blood test. And one of the things that I saw, a bit of a trend in most of the comments, was it says not to drink alcohol, and for some reason beer in particular, within 48 hours of a blood test, and that's something they don't tell you. Now my blood test is usually on a Saturday morning, so I've normally not drunk alcohol from at least the week before, so it's a good 6 or 7 days that I've gone without alcohol. However, this time, a friend of mine from my army days, who I haven't seen for about 15 years, called me on the Wednesday, met up on the Thursday, and we sat outside and had a few beers. We probably drank until maybe midnight, 12:30, so it was a late night as well. And I was thinking it'll be okay because that's Thursday. It's Friday, Saturdays. It's 2 full days. Not that I knew about the 48-hour rule because that wasn't in the text that you get sent or the information you get sent. So I'm assuming that it will all be out of my system in 24 hours. We went to bed late, so I didn't get a good night's sleep as well. When I worked out the actual numbers, having received this, it's probably I was still drinking beer 32 hours before the blood test and not the 48 hours that tends to be the general recommendation. So contacted a different clinic. I didn't want to drive all the way to Dubai because all I wanted to do was just check these. Booked an appointment. I've had another blood test. That one was in the normal not drinking for 6 days, which is about 144 hours I worked out. As soon as I get those results back, then I'll do a very short video. I might even just put it on the community tab and tell you what those figures are. Hopefully they're down and it was the beer. If they're not, then I may need to speak to the doctor. You get a free consultation when you get this particular blood test package and see what it may be that caused these spikes. If anyone else has got an idea, if you think it was the beer, let me know. If you think it might be something else, then again, please let me know in the comments below. So that's it for the lipid profile. So let's move on to blood sugar. You can see here that 5.8 is the A1C score. It was 5.7 last time. It's high. Between 5.7 and 6.4 is increased risk. I think I've mentioned before, I've always had this issue with fasting blood glucose levels. I think I also mentioned when my wife was pregnant, she had the kind of diabetes that pregnant people get. So she had to take that test every day to make sure it was under control. I took it as well to support her, obviously, but also because I was just curious. I always had high blood sugar up until I broke my fast at lunchtime. I would eat food and then 2 hours later it was all set as normal. So, and I think I've mentioned this before, I probably suffer from what they call the dawn phenomena, where high blood sugar in the morning when you've been fasting, but it returns to normal 2 hours after you've had your meal. So not really an issue, not really a problem. It's always been like that for me as far as I can remember. Average blood glucose was 117, now is 119. It was 119 before, but between 90 and 120 is classed as excellent control. So nothing out of the norm for me with regard to blood sugar. Let's take a look at my liver profile, and you can see here that as of this particular test, and that's all the results there, everything within reference range. There was an issue with globulin and my albumin globulin ratio the first time I did this in October 2019, but since then it's all righted itself. So no issues at all with regard to my liver profile. So let's take a look at my renal profile. All okay apart from my blood urea nitrogen, my BUN and creatinine serum ratio is high. Should be maximum 23.1. It's 24. I'm not sure how much of a big problem that is, but when you look at my BUN number, that's within range, and my creatinine number is also in range. So I'm not sure how important the ratio is. If someone thinks that is an important marker, please let me know in the comments below. Moving on, let's take a look at my thyroid profile, and you can see there that everything is within range. There was an issue back in October 19. That's now righted itself. So for thyroid, no problems at all. Vitamin D, you can see there it's 52.8, so I'm still well within the sufficient range. However, that is down from 61.8. So that's probably because, although it's the Middle East and it is hot, there are less sunny days. It is slightly less sunnier. And with the roadworks that I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I haven't been bike riding as much as often and getting as much sun. So maybe that's the reason it's dropped from 61 to 52. Still within the sufficient range. I'm curious, should I probably take maybe on 2 or 3 days a week 10,000 international units? So maybe every Sunday take 10,000 and see if I can bump that number up. Or do you think that that number, because it's in the sufficient and it's pretty much halfway between, is good enough? Let me know in the comments below if you think I should up my vitamin D intake. Vitamin B12, 528 down from 594, still well within the reference range. So no issues at all with my vitamin B12. So let's move on to my testosterone. Now that's down to 634 from 796, which was technically classed as high for an adult male. Although I'm still within the range for an adult male, and I'm still within the range for a male between the ages 16 and 21. Now, you remember when I did this, the only thing that I changed was I'd started to take a teaspoon of parsley, which contains apigenin, apigenin being a CD38 inhibitor, and CD38, as we know, inhibits or degrades NAD. So the theory was lower my parsley intake, which lowers my apigenin, which allows CD38 to continue destroying the NAD and possibly also lowering my testosterone. So after I took this test, I've gone back to 1 tablespoon of parsley a day, mixed in with my yogurt at lunchtime. So it'll be interesting to see in 3 months if this number goes back up, and we can probably then contribute that to the parsley or to CD38 being degraded by the apigenin in the parsley. So still within range, happy with it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the theory of parsley, and let me know if you think that the testosterone level, if it'll go up or it'll stay the same in my next blood test. So that's it for testosterone. Let's now look at my iron, and you can see here both iron scores are within range. So no problems with my iron. Homocysteine, again, down from last time, but still well within. Anything less than 30 is good, and I'm 12, so that's good. CRP, C-reactive protein, which is about inflammatory markers, is up, but is still well within the reference range. So happy with CRP. Lipoprotein A, excuse me, 4.2, up from 3.6, but still well within reference range. Anything less than 30 is good. My ApoA1 and ApoB is all within reference range, so I'm happy with that. This one was high. The ApoB was high last time. That's now righted itself, so all these numbers are okay. My amylase was 60, now 85, but again, anywhere between 28 and 100 is good, so that's well within range also. So no problems with that one. So let's look at my lipase, and you can see there that last month it was low at 10, it's now 28, and between 11 and 82 is within range, so no problem with that. Fructosamine has jumped to 262 and is getting closer to the border of the reference range, and that's a marker for glycemic control. So a little bit concerning. Hopefully that will come down next time, back to maybe 191, or in much lower than 262, because that, for me, that I think that's a bit too close to what the worrying number is. Ketones, so last time 1.2, they missed it out on this test. I did ask them where it had gone, and they said that I got it free last time, it was complimentary, and I'm thinking because ketones, the keto diet, etc., is now very much in the zeitgeist. It's all the rave, especially in the Middle East and Dubai. It was a freebie to try and get me to pay for something next time, which I'm not going to do. So I probably won't include this particular page in the rest of them unless they start offering it as part of the package. So that's it for the ketones. So let's look at the blood panel. The first one, nearly all in reference range. My mean corpuscle hemoglobin score is low. It was okay there. It's been low for the last 2 times, and it says that someone's red blood cells do not have enough hemoglobin. However, my hemoglobin score is okay, and my red blood cell score is okay. So if these two are okay, what mathematical formula do they use to come out with that's not okay? And if you look at these numbers, 14.6 and 4.82, that was okay. This one's now 15, which is higher. This one's higher, but this one's lower. So I'm not sure what the formula is, and I'm not sure if how important this is compared to these two scores here. I'd be interested to know if someone can let me know why these are low and these are high. It seems to contradict one another. So let me know. That would be great in the comments below. Blood test 2, all of these, no issues whatsoever. So this, which I'm not going to try and pronounce, was low. It was up last time, and it's down a bit, but it's still within the reference range. So no issues there with that whole blood panel either. Urine, no issues there really, apart from trace of protein where there was nil and nil before. Ketones, it says trace, and it was nil and nil. So does that mean I'm in ketosis? I don't know. Let me know again in the comments below. EGFR, which is a score for kidney damage, and the lower the number, the lower performing your kidneys. Mine's gone up from 75 to 84, which is good, because my decrease is 60 to 89. I'm getting closer to 90, which is what it should be. It says if there's signs of kidney damage, then you're going to get protein in the urine. And again, this is where I can't work out how the two things that I think are connected contradict each other. Protein in the urine in November 2020 was nil, and my EGFR score was 75. My EGFR score has improved, but there's now a trace of protein in my urine. So I would have assumed that these would have been the other way around, or that said trace, or that said nil. But with regard to this, I'm happy it's gone from 75 to 84, and we're marching towards the score of 90, where my kidneys are working as well as could be expected. So that's it for the blood test results. Well, I hope you found that interesting or informative, hopefully both. All in all, I'm happy with the vast majority of those results. High LDL, for me, not a problem because of my low carb, high fat diet. And the A1C blood sugar levels, always slightly high in the morning, but they will come down 2 hours after I have my meal. So that's the dawn phenomenon thing that I spoke about earlier. What is concerning is my massive jump in triglycerides and also the jump in my VLDL. Those are two numbers that I don't want to see high. Those are ones that I do want to see come back down. I'm hoping it was the beer, and my mate Bob is going to take full responsibility for that, turning up 2 days before my blood test. I'm only joking. If you're watching, Bob, it was good to see you again. So I got the results back. I booked another test. I've had the test. I'm now waiting for those results, so that could take another 5 to 7 days. As soon as I get those back, I'll post another video showing what those results are. Hopefully they're down. If they're not, then I'll discuss what my next options are going to be. Well, that's it for today. I hope you found this interesting. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. As always, please take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.